Hi, this is Latricia Pugh Griffin with Pugh Financial Coaching, helping you make better financial decisions daily. And we are back for another devotional. And today we are coming out of Proverbs, the 11th chapter. And it reads, "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret." And 14, "For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors." Proverbs chapter 11, verses 13 and 14. And so with this particular passage of scripture, when I read it, I was like, wow, Solomon is really taking time to talk to his son and give him information about how he should think ahead, how he should interact with the significant other, how he should be listening to wisdom and not being foolish. And I was like, wow, what is he telling him right now in this passage of scripture? And so the question came to mind is, can God trust you? Now bear with me just for a moment. So there'll be moments in your life where God will place you in the path of others. And it may be to provide counsel, it may be to assist them with their endeavors, it may be to provide advice. Whatever the case is, it's important to know that we should have a trusting demeanor. And this is just on a personal note, but my question to you is, can God trust you with his word? You see, a gossiper is known to embellish the facts or stretch the facts, which basically means it's a lie, or either tell things out of context for just likes or whatever the case may be. But you see, a steward is a manager of something that belongs to someone else, right? And so the activities that we do will determine whether or not God can trust us with the things that he has entrusted us with. So what I want to talk to you today is about, how does God know that he can trust you? The first thing that you can do to let God know that he trusts you is that you are to be obedient. Obedience is basically understanding that the other individual knows what's best even when you don't. I think about my life and the things that God has asked me to do in one season that didn't make sense at all, but it wasn't until later that I really understood, oh, this is why he wanted me to do this. But when you are obedient, you are trusting that this other individual knows what is truly best because they've done the research. They've gone through the process of knowing, like, man, if you do this, this will prevent you from being in said situation. So you are obedient. So that's one way that you can let God know that he can trust you. The second way you can do this is you worship him. Worshiping God is an act of loving him without any expectations. It's just for who he is. So that may sound strange because you're like, wow, I really want God to bless me. But in reality, when you grow in relationship with someone, when you grow in love with someone, you will start doing things just because you love them, just because of who they are as an individual, without the expectation of them doing anything for you. So that's what God is hoping with our relationship. He wants us to love him without the expectation of receiving anything. And just because we love him genuinely, he will love us back genuinely. The next thing that we can do that we'll discuss today, and there are many things, but what I want to talk to you today are just three. And the next thing that we can do is we can treat everyone with dignity and respect. There's so many things going on in this world right now, and being kind honestly doesn't cost you a thing. So by doing the right thing towards the people in our lives, just to people in general, we are also being kind to God. And so we should not think that we are better than anyone or that we should talk down to anyone else because of the life that we've lived or the experiences that we have had. We should teach and be respectful to others, because this is what God expects of us, because we are all God's creation. And so when we are treating others with dignity and respect, guess what? We're doing the same thing to God. And so with that being said, this brings me back to the second verse. The second verse says that for lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. You see, when you are a trustworthy person, people know that they can let their guard down, that you're genuine with them, that they can be vulnerable. They know that you will provide information for them that's in their best interest. So looking at the second verse, you don't have anyone. Looking at the second verse, if you don't have anyone that you cannot trust, then you're left in a position where you're more likely to fall. That's not saying that you can't be successful, but if you're by yourself, then you're having to come up with all the strengths, all the weakness, all the opportunities, all the threats. And that can be very stressful. But when God can trust you, that means that he can let you in on information. He can give you insight. And then when he can trust you, he can put you in the path of other people who can give you insight. And so now that's taking the load off of you and allowing God to do what he does, which is be the leader, the Lord of your life. And so now as you go through this process of stewarding this relationship with God and trusting him through the process, every time that you say, I trust God, you give him permission to trust you with more later. So let's not look at stewardship as being a restriction process of our finances, but it's literally saying that, God, I'm trusting you, and by taking care of what I have right now, Lord, if you have more to give, and he does, and when you choose to give me more, God, you can trust me with that too. So can God trust you? Are you being obedient? Are you worshiping him? And are you treating the people around you, the people that you come in contact with dignity and respect? And this is how you gain the trust of God. So if you would like more information in regards to how you can trust God with your finances, I encourage you to stay connected with Pugh Financial Coaching. The information to stay connected is in the link in the description. You can sign up for a budget prep sheet. And if you're ready to take that next step, you can join PughFC Accountability Group. That information, like I said, is in the link within the description. And if you've enjoyed today's devotional, I encourage you to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe to this page so that you can stay connected to Pugh Financial Coaching to help you to continue to grow. I've enjoyed this time with you, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.